In this video, we'll be taking a look at 3 NBA games happening on February 27, 2024, and providing you with free team picks and total picks for each one of those games. So 6 picks in total. Welcome back to Cash Out Sports. Let's dive right into it. Oh, and don't forget to subscribe and to click the bell icon to get notified as soon as these videos get released, so that you have more time to plan out your bets as we provide these videos on a daily basis. I can guarantee that you'll have all the important information that you'll need on these 3 NBA games after fully watching this video. One more thing before we start: if you would like to gain access to our best exclusive sports picks to take your journey to the next level, then check out our Patreon in the link down below, where we offer our best single picks, parlay picks, and much more. Now let's get started. San Antonio Spurs versus Minnesota Timberwolves. The Minnesota Timberwolves, currently occupying the apex of the Western Conference, are poised to clash with the struggling San Antonio Spurs, who find themselves languishing at the bottom of the standings, sporting a challenging record of 11 wins and 47 losses, coupled with a disheartening trend of 11 defeats in their last 12 games. The Spurs face a formidable challenge against the red-hot Timberwolves, boasting an impressive 40-17 record. Anchored by the league's top-notch defense, Minnesota has been relentless in restricting opponents to a mere 44.5% shooting from the field. In stark contrast, the Spurs, despite the commendable efforts of their French star rookie, find themselves dwelling near the bottom in various defensive categories. The San Antonio Spurs are currently in the midst of a dire slump, having suffered losses in 11 of their last 12 games. Seeking to halt a 4-game skid, they endured a resounding defeat at the hands of the Jazz, succumbing to a 128-109 road loss on Sunday. Devin Vassell led the charge with 27 points, 9 rebounds, and 5 assists, supported by Victor Wembanyama's 22 points and 10 rebounds, along with Zach Collins contributing 17 points off the bench. Despite shooting 46% from the field and 13 of 31 from the three-point line, the Spurs struggled to gain momentum, trailing by a significant margin of 63-39 in the first half. Although they mounted a brief comeback, players like Jeremy Sochan failed to make a substantial impact, scoring just 1 point on 0 of 5 shooting. Conversely, the Minnesota Timberwolves are in excellent form, winning 5 of their last 6 games. Coming off a convincing 101-86 victory against the Nets, they are eager to maintain their winning streak. Anthony Edwards led the team with 29 points, followed by Karl Anthony Towns with 28 points and 9 rebounds, and Mike Conley contributing 14 points. Despite a sluggish start with a 42% shooting from the field and 12 of 38 from the three-point line, the Timberwolves dominated the second half, outscoring their opponents 59-41, ultimately securing a comfortable win. In terms of player availability, the Spurs remain shorthanded with Marcus Morris still sidelined, while the Timberwolves are monitoring the status of Rudy Gobert, who is questionable due to an ankle sprain. Given the Spurs' recent struggles, particularly evident in their lackluster performance against the Jazz, their prospects in this matchup appear unfavorable. Although the Timberwolves lead the season series 2-1, with each game decided by 8 points or less, a similar outcome is anticipated. While the Timberwolves have the potential for a blowout, such occurrences have been absent in their previous 3 meetings this season. The Minnesota Timberwolves, boasting a home record of 20-6 straight up and covering in 7 of their last 10 games, have the capability to dominate in their own arena. However, being a young team learning to handle success, they may display occasional lapses, allowing opponents to stay competitive. Notably, the Spurs managed to secure a victory as double-digit underdogs in their previous encounter. Considering the likelihood of numerous points being scored, the San Antonio Spurs to cover the spread as underdogs is our full game side pick. Analyzing the offensive statistics, the Spurs are averaging 112 points per game and 110 points per game on the road. In their last 3 games against the Timberwolves, they averaged 106 points per game, operating at a fast pace with an average of 105.1 possessions per game. They face a Timberwolves team conceding 102 points per game at home, suggesting the likelihood of falling short of their average in this matchup. On the other hand, the Timberwolves, averaging 114 points per game and 112 points per game at home, managed to score an average of 110 points per game in their last 3 encounters against the Spurs, with a slower pace of 101.4 possessions per game, and facing a Spurs team allowing 120 points per game on the road. The Timberwolves are expected to score enough points to surpass the projected total. Therefore, over the projected total is our full game total pick. Detroit Pistons versus Chicago Bulls. Renewing a rivalry rooted in the early 90s, the stage is set in the Eastern Conference for a showdown between the Detroit Pistons and the Chicago Bulls. Having played in New York on Monday night, the Pistons face the Bulls in their second game in 2 nights. In their most recent clash, the Pistons experienced a narrow defeat at home against the Magic, losing 112-109 but successfully covering the 8.5-point underdog spread. Contrarily, the Bulls secured a 114-106 victory over the Pelicans as 4.5-point road underdogs. This encounter marks the third of 4 matchups between these teams this season, with each home team emerging victorious in the initial 2 contests. The Detroit Pistons find themselves in a slump, having lost 9 of their last 11 games. Despite their recent struggles, they aim to halt a 6-game losing streak after falling short against the Knicks in a 113-111 road loss the previous night. Cade Cunningham showcased his prowess, contributing 32 points and 8 assists, while Jaden Ivey and Simone Fontecchio added 14 and 12 points, respectively. Despite their commendable effort, shooting 48% from the field and 14 of 30 from beyond the arc, the Pistons fell short in a disappointing finish against the Knicks. On the other hand, the Chicago Bulls have maintained a more favorable form, winning 4 of their last 7 games. Eager to continue their success, they secured a 114-106 road win against the Pelicans. DeMar DeRozan led the charge with 24 points and 7 assists, supported by Nikola Vucevic's 22 points and 13 rebounds, along with Ayo Dosunmu's 21 points and 8 assists. Despite a slow start and trailing for most of the game, the Bulls orchestrated a comeback in the 4th quarter, scoring 33 points to clinch a gritty road victory. Following this matchup, the Bulls are set to face the Cavaliers. The injury report shows that the Pistons are still missing key players such as Marcus Sasser and Isaiah Stewart, while the Bulls remain without Patrick Williams and Torrey Craig. Despite the Pistons' recent struggles, they demonstrated competitiveness in their narrow loss to the Knicks. However, the Bulls enter the game with confidence, coming off a hard-fought win against the Pelicans. Although the Bulls are expected to be favored at home with a rest advantage, their consistency issues raise concerns when playing as significant favorites. The Pistons, despite heartbreaking losses, have covered the spread in 5 of their last 8 games. While the Pistons might face challenges following a tough night against the Knicks, the point spread seems excessive. Therefore, the Detroit Pistons to cover the spread as underdogs is a full-game side pick. Detroit enters this matchup on the second night of a back-to-back, involving substantial travel between games. Unlike a quick trip from Madison Square Garden to Brooklyn, the Pistons are navigating different time zones, traveling from New York to Chicago and playing 2 games in 2 days. Fatigue is likely to impact the players, especially the youthful Pistons, following a physically demanding game against the Knicks. Additionally, Detroit is adjusting to new player rotations, with Fontecchio, a relatively unknown player, emerging as their second leading scorer in recent games. The Pistons have also trended towards the under, with their last 6 consecutive games falling below the projected total. In contrast, the Bulls prefer a slower pace, ranking 29th in the league in tempo, and thrive in a half-court game, utilizing DeRozan in the mid-range. The Bulls also emphasize defense, with their defensive possessions ranking as the 29th longest in the league. Consequently, under the projected total is our full game total pick. Charlotte Hornets versus Milwaukee Bucks. On Tuesday night, the Charlotte Hornets embark on a journey to Milwaukee to face the Bucks in a compelling Eastern Conference showdown. Positioned at the 13th spot in the Eastern Conference, the Hornets carry a record of 15 wins and 42 losses, bracing themselves for another season where securing a spot in the NBA lottery seems inevitable. Meanwhile, the Bucks boast a season record of 37 wins and 21 losses, entering the game with a 2-game winning streak post-All-Star break and currently holding the 3rd position in the Eastern Conference standings. Recent performances have showcased the Charlotte Hornets in an impressive light, winning 5 out of their last 6 games. Fresh off a commanding 93-80 road victory against the Trail Blazers, the team exhibited a well-rounded effort. Mick Richards led the charge with 21 points, 10 rebounds, and 3 blocks, complemented by Miles Bridges' 18 points and 10 rebounds, along with Brandon Miller's 17 points. The Hornets displayed a solid defensive front, maintaining control by limiting the Trail Blazers to a mere 34 points in the first half. Notably, their effective defense restricted Anthony Simons of the Trail Blazers to just 10 points on 4 of 21 shooting, ensuring a comprehensive victory. In contrast, the Milwaukee Bucks have maintained a decent form, securing victories in 4 of their last 6 games. Seeking a 3rd consecutive win, they dominated the short-handed 76ers in a convincing 119-98 road triumph. Giannis Antetokounmpo led the charge with 30 points, 12 rebounds, and 9 assists, supported by Damian Lillard's 24 points and Malik Beasley's 20 points. The Bucks exhibited an impressive shooting display, hitting 54% from the field and 18 of 37 from beyond the arc. Their dominance in the first half, leading 69-48, ensured a comfortable victory despite a third-quarter surge from the 76ers. While the Milwaukee Bucks had the capability to secure victories in a commanding fashion, their defensive vulnerabilities are evident with a 23-24-1 against the spread record for the season. On the other hand, the Hornets are riding a positive wave with 5 wins in their last 6 games, covering in 7 of their last 9 outings. This marks the best performance of the season for the Charlotte team. Despite the absence of K.A. Tris Middleton, the Bucks are still considered favorites, but the Hornets, rejuvenated with recent success, aim to make a statement. Anticipating a challenging game, the Charlotte Hornets to cover the spread as underdogs is our full game side pick. Analyzing the point total aspect, the Bucks, under Coach Rivers, have experienced a slight dip in scoring since the past 12 games. However, facing the NBA's 23rd-ranked scoring defense provides an opportunity to rebound. The Hornets, after making roster adjustments, have seen an improvement in scoring. The clash presents an intriguing dilemma for the total pick, considering the Bucks' high-scoring offense and the Hornets' defensive struggles. The expectation leans towards a high-scoring affair, with the Bucks likely to surpass the 120-point mark. The Hornets, aiming to keep pace, contribute to the anticipation of a game abundant in points. The overall prediction leans towards the over, foreseeing a game filled with action, marked by Milwaukee's efficient scoring and Charlotte's determination to compete. In summary, the game between the Charlotte Hornets and the Milwaukee Bucks promises an exciting clash, with both teams bringing their strengths and vulnerabilities to the forefront. While the Bucks hold the upper hand, the recent resurgence of the Hornets adds an element of unpredictability. The combination of offensive firepower and defensive challenges on both ends sets the stage for an engaging encounter, making over the projected total our full game total pick. That's all for now, so if you have any other games you would like reviewed, then leave a comment down below with the game you would like analyzed. Subscribe to our channel, leave a like on this video, and we'll get to it as soon as we possibly can. We would also love to hear your opinion on the picks presented to you in this video, whether you agree or disagree with them, so leave a comment down below and do let us know.